Wagwan, my people. As you know, everything has completely changed from the way the world works to the way people make money to the way business works. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the best way to make money online, how to turn yourself into a business, and how to make your first $10,000 a month all the way up to $1 million. The very first thing that you need to understand is that the life you're living is simply the life that you chose. And you need to begin to understand exactly why you're in the situation that you're in and how the world works in order for you to start taking steps in the right direction. I want you guys to understand that obsession is your path to greatness. And this is a lesson that I personally learned in my 20s. When I was still a teenager, I was about to graduate high school and I almost got expelled because I was riding on the side of my homie's car as he was like speeding through the car park. And I was in the principal's office and the principal asked me what I was going to do. Like what I was going to do with my life. And she was talking about me getting a trade or me going away to university and a few different things. And I was thinking to myself in my head, I'm not going to do any of that. And although at the time I had no idea what I was actually going to do, I still knew it wasn't going to be some traditional route, either working a 9 to 5 or going to college or university. I just knew that wasn't going to happen to me. I was getting a bunch of different questions and led in all different directions when it came to my career, but nobody ever said anything to me or suggested anything to me that sparked any interest or curiosity in my mind. But I knew for a fact that I wasn't going to dedicate my life to something mediocre or just doing something traditional. And all the people that were giving me advice and telling me the different options that I had and different things that I could do, not one of them was living the life that I wanted to actually be living. Every single person I looked at, whether it was my teachers or my parents or whatever, none of these people giving me advice or telling me what to do lived a life that I would ever want to live. I began to look at people's actions and where it led them. And then I would just question, is that what I want? And I never wanted it. And then I found myself asking questions, which you probably have as well, like, how do these people do it? What is their goal? How did they end up here? How are they okay with their situation? How do they hate their job but they continue to stay there? Do they not have goals? Do they not have things that they want to do? Why can't they build towards that? How can they be in a job that they hate and not formulate a plan or a method to get out of it? But as I got older, I found myself as one of these people. I was working a terrible job that I despised and hated in every aspect, but I still felt separate from the people at that job. I still knew that I wasn't wired the same as them. And I feel like there is truly two types of mental models that people have. They either find the 9 to 5 given routine, controlled life comforting, or they find that extremely uncomfortable and cannot focus on anything but escaping that. But they might just not have the method yet. And assuming if you're watching this video, you're probably the latter. 99% of people chain themselves to a paycheck for life because they never develop the skills and make the choices that lead them to wealth and freedom. And before I talk about how to fix that, I want to talk about the dangers of this lifestyle and what living like this is going to cause and affect your life to look like. There's a book I read called The Way of the Superior Man. And in this book, it talks about living at your edge. But I kind of dived a bit deeper into this and kind of tried to understand it at a fundamental level, what it really meant. And I kind of broke it down into my own meaning and understood that living at your edge is basically staying outside of your comfort zone, and living below your edge is being in your comfort zone. And to demonstrate this, I wanted to create a graphic or a design to show you guys so that you can also kind of understand what I'm trying to say. When you're living at your edge, you're the most fulfilled and purpose driven that you can be. But in order to live at your edge, you need to leave the comfort of having someone program and condition your life for you, telling you where to be at what time, when to go to the toilet, when to eat, all of these things. To live at your edge, you need to actually be the master of your own reality. You need to be creating your life and you need to be making the decisions that affect your life, not someone else. But the reason people do not live at their edge is because at your edge, you're going to be met with discomfort. You're going to be met with the unknown. You're going to be met with pushing yourself outside the boundaries of what you previously thought was possible and what you were capable of. When you're living below your edge, you're getting your dopamine from cheap things because you're not in pursuit of anything bigger or greater or building meaningful goals over time and trying to achieve them. You're getting your dopamine from things like sex, porn, scrolling, junk food, things that provide that instant burst of gratification instead of actual meaningful goals. When you're living at your edge, you're getting real dopamine from real things, whether it be achieving worthwhile, meaningful goals, whether it be from doing things that actually improve your body and your mind. Now, understand, I'm telling you all of this for a reason, and it's all going to tie in together into why you need to not only live at your edge, but also embrace the entrepreneurial venture as a way of living at your edge. So in the comfort zone, life becomes dull. In the known, it becomes boring. It becomes soulless. And this is why I'm telling you that working a 9 to 5 is going to make you feel ill. It's going to make you feel sick. It's going to make you feel like there's something wrong. And you need to embrace that feeling, not try to ignore it, not try to lock it away and never think about it. You feel wrong because the way you're living is wrong. Because you're living in the comfort zone. You are not living at your edge. You find yourself in this endless comfort zone, and I've experienced this. And I can speak to you with conviction on this topic because I've lived it and I've come out of it and I know the difference. When you're in this zone, you find yourself asking, this can't be all there is. Is this really what I'm here to do? And the answer is no. On the opposite end of that comfort zone and of that employment, that 9 to 5, you have the entrepreneurial side of things. And this is where you get real dopamine. You have to venture into the unknown. You experience real conquest, real endeavors, real things where you have to build and put yourself outside of your comfort zone and grow and network and build things, and you get real dopamine from that. Now, going back to what I said previously about certain people being wired differently, right? There's the people who find it comforting, and there's the people who can't stand to be employed by someone else and live in that comfort zone. I'm not saying that you're either one or the other. You can switch. I personally did switch. I went from being okay, drifting through life, being in the comfort zone, to becoming very, very uncomfortable in that. And what I would say on that is it's almost better sometimes when things are worse, because when things are just good enough, you're in that comfort zone and you're okay with it. I had to get a job that was terrible for me to go, oh, fuck this. But you can definitely switch, and you can definitely go from someone who is comfortable in that to someone who isn't. And it's just about your situation being bad enough for you to be uncomfortable for you to actually then make that change. For example, I was about here when I was working my construction job. However, I could not tolerate it at all. So I had to make a leap here. Some people will spend their entire lives here simply because they can tolerate it. So if you feel like your life is mundane, static, dull, boring, you just can't stand it, you're like, there has to be more to life than this. There is, and I'm telling you, the cure to that, and what cured it for me, is entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship can do the exact same thing for you, I promise. Entrepreneurship is risky, it's stressful, there's ups and downs, but that's why it is so good. You're living at your edge and leaning into your true nature. Humans are genetically not wired to live in sloth and to live in the comfort zone. Sloth is one of the 7 deadly sins. You're not meant to be in the comfort zone at a fundamental level. Risk is where you develop yourself as a person. You are forced to evolve, to survive in a marketplace that is constantly changing. You're constantly forced to grow, to develop, to compete, to survive in entrepreneurship. Instead of simply following orders and having someone tell you what to do, you need to become a leader. You need to become the master of your own reality. And by no means am I trying to beat or trying to demean 9 to 5 or blue collar workers. That is not what I'm trying to do. I respect them a lot, and I will take care of them when I have the opportunity to. But I am telling you that if you are in a 9 to 5 that you do not like, you need to be using that as a springboard to a better life. Use the 9 to 5 as a means to find a meaningful pursuit rather than just remaining in the complacency trap that is wage slavery. They have the potential to destroy your mental and physical health if you allow them to. Understand that the things that make life interesting and fun, experience, challenge, growth, competition, risk, which are all found outside of the 9 to 5 and in entrepreneurship. Constantly living below your edge completely halts your development as a human being. You lose purpose, you lose fulfillment, and you stop developing the self and who you are, and you basically put a pause on your growth and your development. And you lose time that you can never get back, and time is the most valuable currency. When you're stuck in a 9 to 5, you're leaning against your nature. You're trying to resist something that is natural for humans. But you need to lean into your nature. You need to find what it is that makes you tick and lean into that. And it's not the same for everyone, but for everyone, you're probably going to find it outside of a 9 to 5. Denying your true nature and what you genuinely inherently are on the inside of yourself is one of the most dangerous and unhealthy things that you can do. Us as humans, we're not designed to thrive, survive, or just live in the known. We are designed to be faced with new exciting challenges every single day. If you do not live at your edge, you're going to find yourself bored, you're going to find yourself depressed, you're going to find yourself lacking purpose, you'll never take risks, you'll never compete, you'll never challenge yourself, but you need to discover untapped knowledge that produces real dopamine in your brain. As an entrepreneur, you're on a mission and you give yourself purpose, and you need to hunt for new knowledge and skill sets that provide value to people. If you do not choose your path, you will be given one. If you do not sell your product, you will sell someone else's. Manual work and jobs aren't inherently bad, but becoming a cog in the machine makes you no different to a robot. Luckily now, we have the opportunity to create our ideal lives, our dream lives, using the internet. Never has it been easier for us to create the exact life that we want online. The highest paid people are the people who are able to solve the highest level problems. And with the internet, the amount of people you can solve problems for is endless. There is a new education system separate from the traditional education system, and in that there are now decentralized creators who can create and educate. This is the new economy, and it is called the creator economy. The ones who create and synthesize their ideas will be the ones who win. We're in a time now where people can create value, and instead of earning with their back, they can earn with their mind. These people turn themselves into a business, but how do they do it? I have a very simple 3-step approach to this that I'm going to teach to you right now. Skill, attention, knowledge. The first step is to develop a specific skill set, something that gives you an unfair advantage in the marketplace. This is going to be your thing. As you know, my thing is sales, but you can literally do anything. You need to just first learn something that other people want to learn and something that you can provide value on. This can be something that you already know. I've seen people make thousands of dollars by teaching people how to play piano, by teaching people how to bake, by teaching people how to knit, by teaching people how to play sports. And you do not even need to be the best person in the world at this. When you go to learn golf, do you go to Tiger Woods, or do you just go to learn from someone that is decent? Online education is by far the easiest, fastest way to financial freedom in the current market with the creator economy. The first step is deciding what and who you are actually going to educate. Take me as an example. I didn't really have any skills, so I learned how to sell, got pretty good at it. Then I made a bit of money. Then I took that skill and that money to gain attention, to then provide my knowledge and make money from that. So step 1 is to pick and learn a skill. Take your time deciding what you're going to actually do, because the rest of your business and your brand is built on that. Once you have done that and you have actually acquired something, then the next step is attention. This is where you start to get eyeballs. The creator economy is the reason most of the millionaires created in our generation are going to be creators. So now you have to create content to gain attention. Where attention goes, money goes. I've gone into detail on how to actually create attention and create content, and there'll be a link to that course in the description for free. But fundamentally, you build a personal brand by creating content. This is where you gain all the leverage, because attention is one of the most valuable currencies in today's market. There are paid ads and there are organic. Organic is by far the best way, because you can build a genuine audience of people who genuinely like you and followed you because they like your content and because they like you. But it takes a bit more time to build. The real difference between these two content types, paid and organic, is just what you're paying for. Organic, you're paying with your time. Paid ads, you're paying with money. They are both good and you should use both. It's quite a simple step. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's definitely simple. You simply create a vision, post content, then repeat, and you will eventually build attention. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter are the best. Then the last step is to take your knowledge and your skill sets, who you are, and turn it into a business. And what I mean by that is you simply have your knowledge, you have your expertise, and you have an audience, and then you just ask your audience if they need help, and they do. Fix their problem, whatever it is. If you've built an audience around finance and making money like I have, then you would help them not be broke. If you've built an audience around playing piano, then you would help them learn how to play piano. Remember, it does not matter what you do. There's a 60-year-old woman out there who's making thousands and thousands of dollars teaching people how to knit. So you can literally use anything. Using this very simple method, you're able to leave your 9 to 5, embark on an entrepreneurial journey, and live at your edge, and develop new skills and new knowledge and new mindsets, and experience the unknown. This is the easiest way to get to $10,000 a month and even 6 figures a month, because in one of these online education companies, you can sell a $5,000 offer, meaning you only need to sell 2 offers a month to make $10,000 a month. But once you build that audience, there's really no limit to how big you can build it. So that means you can honestly close 20, 30, 40, 50 offers a month. And I'm not going to do the math on that for you, but you can make a lot of money very quickly with this. Understand that the reason this method works so well is because the online education industry is a $300 billion industry that keeps growing every single day. And like I said, the majority of millionaires that are made in this generation are going to be made through online education. This is the reason that it completely decimates anything like dropshipping, SMMA, and things alike, because one, you keep 60 to 90% of all the profits. You might have to pay a closer, you might have to pay an appointment setter a tiny bit, and maybe some money on ads, but that's really it. You're keeping around 80-90% of all your profits, unlike a dropshipping company where you're keeping 5-10% of all the profit. And two, you get your time back. You're not a slave to your clients. You simply create knowledge and then distribute that knowledge. You might have to take a couple of training calls a week to educate the people on what you're doing, but that's really barely any work a week. You can have a 4-hour work week if you really want to. This is the future of work and what it'll look like. It starts with you learning a skill, then you create attention, then you build a offer around your knowledge, be it information, a community, a school, whatever, and then you sell that to make money. You find a skill to learn, learning leads to obsession, obsession creates your dream life. A life where you're no longer a cog in the machine, but a life where you're in pursuit of a meaningful goal. And I promise you, as someone who has lived it and lived both experiences, there is no better life experience than having a mission, having a purpose, and being in pursuit of that every single day. A life of highs and lows, and experiencing losses and wins, and having impact and having influence, and creating something worth creating. This is what life is truly about, and you can have it. You can make the choice today to use the tools that are at your disposal to resist being assigned a career and a life, and to instead create your own career and curate your own reality. Realize this and act on it. Like I said, the first step is to self-educate. Self-education will never betray you. You need to become educated, and you need to understand how these things work and what they are and how you can get involved in them. I'm obviously teaching you guys that, but you need to understand this fundamentally. Acquire the knowledge and the skills that you need to get to where you want to be. I learned how to sell and then how to market. You can do the same. Skills, attention, build, sell. This is exactly how I escaped the trap of living below your edge, and it's exactly how I want all of you guys to do the exact same. If you guys want the full free course that I made, there will be a link below. This was a bit of a different video, but it was one of the most important videos I've put out. I want you guys to change your perspective and start looking at things differently and understand how important it is for you to go in pursuit of something that you actually care about, something that's actually meaningful to you. If you guys want me to make a video on how you can make your own personal brand and really turn yourself into a business, make content that bangs so that you can explode your income, get this video to 100 likes and I will make that video. My people, your journey begins now. I really hope some of you take action after watching this video and you change your perspective. Thank you guys. See you again very soon.